I would say one of the biggest disconnects between people getting to where they want to in life is not really the lack of knowledge of how to get there, but more so how to get themselves to do what it is that they know to be doing. And it's something that I know I personally struggle with myself. And actually, I saw an example of it also, or I had a realization also in the Bible as well, where King Solomon, he had so much wisdom, and he was the wisest man to live, but yet he still had a problem or issue with lust, and that ended up being his downfall or his falling. And that just goes to show and to prove that just knowing is not enough. Like, there has to be some actual intent behind what you're doing, and there has to be some actual want or commitment to doing what you know to do. Just like, say, for example, if you know that you have a goal of losing weight, you know without somebody having to tell you that you have to exercise. You know without somebody having to tell you that you have to eat right. You can't be eating late and stuff like that. And you have to get yourself on some type of routine to be able to lose X amount of weight that you're trying to do. So you know that already without somebody having to tell you. But then you also know on top of that that you shouldn't be eating fast food. You shouldn't be lazy and not working or not moving your body and stuff like that. But yet it's so easy for you to do it. And I think that's really the issue, is that normally to do the thing that requires discipline is harder. Even though it gives us the result, it is harder to do. Why? Because it requires a discipline. It requires us to deny ourselves the things that we naturally normally want to do, or the habits that we've already developed in ourselves. Like, if you're a bigger person, like you say you want to lose weight, if you're a bigger person, you already have the habit of eating all the time. Because why? It's easy to just eat all the time and just eat whatever you want. It's easy to just sit down and not exercise. It's going to require you to make that shift in your mind that, okay, I've had it, that's enough is enough. Now I want to change because I want this for myself moving forward. And that works in so many different areas and aspects of life, where you could do that for your physical, you could do that for your mental if you want to get smarter, you could do that for your financial if you want to make more money and stuff like that. So it's not enough just to know what to do, but it's more so you have to make yourself do whatever it is that you know that you should be doing. And that's really the key to it. And my advice, as far as because I've done that in certain areas of my life already, my advice of what I feel works for me is I have to sit down and write out small things that I can do each and every day. I think a lot of times people will get cut off or get discouraged from doing big goals because they're looking at it as the big goal instead of small, consistent things that you can do every day. So I looked at small things that I could do every day that would work towards my goal. And then I also wrote down things that I knew was bad, that is not being consistent, and I started to cut those out in a small way as well, just piece by piece. You don't have to do the whole big goal, you just have to do small steps each and every day that is working consistently towards the goal. And after a while it becomes habitual, and you're going to start doing it without even thinking about it. Just like you was doing the bad habits without even thinking about it, you're going to develop good habits that you'll start to do without even thinking about it. When I first started working out, it was a mental thing that I had to do where I did not want to do it. But now I don't even really think about it. It's just something that I naturally do every day. And I just know that it makes me feel good, and it makes my body feel good. It makes me more sharp and focused mentally. It gives me more energy. So I know that this is something that I want for my life moving forward. So what I had to do is not that, I didn't know already all these benefits. I didn't know that if I wanted to, be healthy, that I had to exercise and, do anything like that. So I already had that knowledge before, but it was just the application of making myself get over that hurdle of doing it, even when it was hard at the beginning. So, but I had to know, one, what my goal was, of what I wanted, and then two, also I had to make a plan for it. So if that's something that you want to do, as far as anything that you want to do in life, I'm not even going to say that specifically, but anything that you want to do in life, just first write down the things that you know that you're doing that is not beneficial to it, and start to cut those things out and replace them with other habits that you write down that is good, that is going to help you work towards that goal, even in a small way, each and every day. If you want to be able to do 100 push-ups, you don't just start off doing 100 push-ups in a day, but you build up. You start off with just doing 5 consistently. If you feel like once you get to the point where you feel like you would do 5 consistently, then you move on to 10, 20, 30, 35, and then all the way up to 100. So it's just making that small, consistent moves every day that's gonna help you towards your goal. And that's how you take from the concept of just knowing what's the right thing to do and going actually into application and putting action towards it and coming up with a plan that is going to help you to actually go after and attain that goal.